with you. Like a wave crashing into the shore, they wash away my dreams. Time, why you walk away? Like a fever with somewhere to go, you left me crying. And your tears revive tomorrow, and all the pain and sorrow running through. The miles just another day, and I don't believe it now.
All right. Great open, huh? Gotta love Hootie and the Blowfish. Hey, everybody. This is Modified Darvis Box MDB coming at you here with another weekend review. This is the Thanksgiving holiday version of the weekend review. And what a week. It was a very bullish week. And, I picked the Hootie song to open up because in the market, it just shows that, patience and time and things tend to work out. The market is geared towards going up over time. People go to work, companies make money, and generally the share prices go up. When things go wrong or other things, that's when, markets turn bad. But overall, most of the time, markets are usually pretty good. And we just had a really amazing holiday week where, things are just moving up, moving higher. And we're going to see a lot of bullish charts in this weekend review. And, there still are some negative charts, but a lot of the negative charts from the past few weeks, they dropped off because they've improved. And that's the biggest thing. It struck me is that time is the biggest cure-all for anything that's going on. So let's get into it. For anybody who's never watched one of my videos, I am an independent investor, trader, more investor these days than trader. And I've developed my strategy, which is a very unique strategy. I don't think anybody out there on FinTwit or anybody does charts like I do or has a system quite like I do. My system is based on the book, How I Made $2 Million in the Stock Market by Nicholas Darvis. And it also incorporates other elements from other strategies like the strat strategy, etc. I made my first trade in 1995. So, you could say I've been around for a long time and I've seen a lot and I've learned a lot. So I've got a pretty unique view on things and takes, and that's what I like to do. I like to take interesting data and show it to the rest of you, and then you guys can make up your own decisions. I don't tell you what to do, but hopefully you in the audience will look at the charts and my analysis and nod your head up and down, be like, yeah, that's a good point, or maybe you agree. And if you disagree, talk to me on Twitter, say, I'm having trouble, seeing what you're seeing on the chart, or I kind of disagree with it. Just don't call me names and don't call me a loser or anything like that, because then I'll just block you. But with that, let's get into it. I've got 6 different lists that I put stocks on, but we're going to look at only the 4 because those are the ones with the any actionable triggers. And then we always start here with the overview on list 1 with indexes. So let's get into it. Pull up, get something to drink, pull up your chair. What time is it? It's almost 3:30. All right, we'll whip through this, make it as short as possible. All right. So starting off with the AMZ, what do we see here? A box breakout. This is a box range per the Darvis book, and there's a breakout. Now, we don't have any volume data, but that looks like a bullish breakout to me, huh? This here's MLPs, which are linked to oil and gas. Something must be going on in oil and gas land because look at that. They're all going up. ARK, again, Cathie Wood. I do not recommend anybody buy ARK, but, do it if you want, if you believe in Cathie Wood. But this chart's here to show the different colors on my charts because the colors are signals and then reaction to signals. That's how my trading takes place. Everybody's drawing trend lines and doing pennants and bull flags and all that. No, those are so unreliable in my opinion. Use them if they work for you, but in my opinion, they're unreliable. They're 50-50 at best, 50-50 bets. And I try to bet when there's higher probabilities of winning. 50-50, you can just go to Vegas and bet 50-50, But I'm here to win, baby. So hopefully you're here to win also. Signals done by colors. Yellow bars are bullish. Blue bars here are also bullish, but we're looking at the reaction. The signal just tells us to sit up and pay attention. We're looking to trade the reaction to the signal. And sometimes the reaction's down, sometimes the reaction's up. Pink bars are the opposite of blue. With a little, instead of a bullish tilt, it's more of a bearish tilt. Grays here are inside bars. Inside bars are 50-50. But you can trade them. They're valid trading signals, like right here. Valid trading signal, inside bar. How do you trade it? Well, if price goes above it, you buy it. Pretty simple, huh? If price drops through the bottom area, you sell it or you short it. Boom. All of a sudden, you're now an expert trader. But yeah, so I use colors, and then these tan ones, orange ones, are hammers and shooter bars. Shooters are inverse hammers, so if you didn't know that. Like, for example, that's a shooter, here's a hammer. Bearish and bullish. See how this works? Let the chart talk to you. That's what I've learned in all my decades of trading. Let the chart talk to you. The market tells you what's going on. It tells you what it's going to do. So, it tells you to be prepared, and then you see what they're gonna do. But the point is, you see things coming ahead of time. You can see them on your weekend analysis, and then you can make a plan for trading the next week. You don't need to be knee-jerk, reflexive, etc. All right, enough monologue and spiel. Oil going sideways here. It's probably going to start a box starting from this point here. Why am I not starting here? Because I like to get 2 weeks in a row of uptrend. And you see here, down, down, up, down, up, down. I like to get 2 in a row because that indicates power. This is more chop. So I'm not going to use this to draw a box. I will use this because you see here, down, down, up, up, up. There you go. Darvis said how to do it in his book. So take a look. But otherwise, overall, this just looks sideways for oil. Okay, the NASDAQ. This is what most people care about. So we had a lot of bullish signals in here. If you've watched the video before, I've talked about this one. The big breakout here on the election. The big sell-off here as people, were like, whoa, wait a minute. Another bullish, see that bar, a bullish reaction. It formed an inside bar. And now this week, if you're still a bull, you buy it, it triggered bullish. And it's formed a box range. 3 weeks is my minimum. As you can see, box range right here. Who knows? This upcoming week, we may get a technology box breakout and prices keep going higher. I would think so because see the Bollinger Bands, these faint ones, they're beginning to open up, open wide. And when that happens, it's a measure of volatility. And, probably price is going to be dragged upwards. So that would be my expectation going into this next week. What do we got? Ethereum. Look at this. Crypto. From a bearish shooter bar here. And then all of a sudden, boom. That's elections have consequences. See, when this price went above that high, this negative signal got negated, and that's how you know signal failure, go the other way. This was indicating down, but the signal failed the opposite direction, go the opposite direction. If you're ready to do that, yeah, you can make money. You would have been long about here, about 23, and currently it's trading at 30. But you would have had to really want Ethereum and want this one, but tons of opportunity out there. But that's reading the chart, reading the signals. FFTY, you see here, moving higher with the win. And now, if you don't see signals in here, read the volume. Sell, sell, sell. And then the big buyers came in and cleaned it up. No, we're buying. And then look how it went quiet. Quiet, quiet, quiet. Then it started up again here. Again, the big buyer bar here. And you could tell right away who's in control. The bulls are. And this is a proxy for growth stocks. Just implies that, growth stocks are in a bull phase. So, but notice how scary it was here. Red, red, red. But then the bulls came in and calmed everything down. That's how you can read volume to see what's going on the chart. China, bear signal here. It activated right here, went down, but going down slowly. China is just a loser. And volume tells the story also. Big volume. Were they selling or buying here? They were selling. And they sold again here, and then they sold again here. Where are the bulls? They're just not here. Now, maybe this goes back up, but you'd like to see big green volume again. If it just drifts up, you're looking for good odds, good probabilities, and I wouldn't call a long trade here a good probability. But, crazy things can happen. You don't know. Gold formed a sideways box here. You had a signal here, a shooter bar, and yeah, it went down, down, down. But now it's beginning to stabilize, but there's no big bullish buying. So, we'll see. If you're still a gold fan and you didn't sell here, well, you're doing fine. Just sitting and letting it do the trend. Sideways is just fine. If you're a long-term trend follower, you bought here and you're just sitting following the moving average, fine. You're doing great. It's just the active, it's the difference between active and passive, I guess. But you got to have different points of view and different time frames. So, like different time frame on GLD, well, maybe if you bought it using the weekly chart, then I highly suggest you stick to the weekly chart for your signals. Because if you switch to like a daily chart, well, then you get all screwed up. But look here on the monthly. On the monthly chart, it looks fabulous. Buy signal here, box breakout here, just moving higher. No other signals, just sit and let it do its thing. Like Hootie said, time. Just let time work for you. Junk bonds, HYG. Junk bonds moving up a little bit. Look at that. Got tight. 2 inside bars and now a bullish resolution. And when people say that a chart is tight, it usually is just an opinion. Tight is 2 or 3 inside bars in a row. That's tight. So it's the difference between defined signals versus opinions. So take that to heart, hopefully. IAK insurance. Great sector to be in. Look at this thing. Just up, 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 and away. Got that in the family trust. IBIT, Bitcoin. Look at that. There's, sure they sold a little bit here, but look at this. Green, 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 green. There's no selling. There's no selling in Bitcoin. Not that I can see. Software, IGV. So this was a legit bearish signal right here. A lot of money came out of this, see on the red bar, but look at that bullish reaction. Right off the top. Yeah, the bears sold, but some bulls came in the next week and said, you bears are wrong. You bears are wrong, and we're going to bet big money to prove you're wrong. And while it's sort of done okay, it has pulled back a little, so there's a lot of bears in here. The bulls came in. Maybe there's some bears saying, well, I don't think so. But you see, that's how you can try and build a story. Most likely this ends up going sideways. Housing, sideways. What's that? Micro caps. Yeah, up, but nothing too special. See this right here? Green and red, followed me by red. that sequence, whether it's red-green or green-red, that just shows that there's a big difference of opinion. We're bullish, yeah, buy it. And then the next week, no, we wanted to sell. Okay. Most of the time when you get this divergence right after another, usually it means whichever the second one is, that's going to start playing into it. Like super excited, not excited. And, it's probably not going to do anything too exciting. Same here. We're excited. No, we're not excited. It's IWM, big BFD. Healthcare, look at that, down. If there's one area that's struggling, it's this area. Transports, there's that bull signal, and it resolved bullish right there. Sign of an improving economy. When this goes up, when transports are going up, it usually means the economy is improving or doing well. I'll use the word improving, even though I have no particular proof. But there was a lot of unsure. We're not sure, man. We're not sure using these two. But then you have the definitive box breakout with the big volume. So whoever's analyzing transportation is pretty emphatic that no, transportation is doing better. And it's going to do better in the future. There was a lot of indecision back in here. And justifiably so, What is this? Equal weighted. Yeah, it's just going up, following the index. QQQ done the same thing as the NASDAQ. It formed a sideways box, minimum 3 weeks. Probably a box breakout coming. RSP moving higher. You see this indecision here? We're excited. No, we're not excited. This is normal on a blue bar. We're excited. Yeah, maybe not. To have a pullback right after the blue is not uncommon. And then this bar right there then continued. Short-term rates, bonds going up, bonds going down, but that's a little bearish. Semiconductors, one of the weakest sectors out there, which I pointed out, peaked way back here. White bar signal here, and that's a sell signal. Yeah, it did have a rebound. You see that sequence right there? And now it's it had some bearishness, but not enough. It's tilted to down, but it's not shooting down. This may be a very gradual, or it might hang in there and maybe go up. We don't know. But there were enough bulls in this one to say, not so fast. But it's still a weak sector. Look at that. It's just going sideways. It's doing nothing. As opposed to like the S&P 500 going up. And look what they did. Inside week, resolved higher. Market just wants to go up. Inside week higher, same deal. Sentiment hit a high right here, but then came down. But sentiment's getting high, and I've got something I'll show you at the end on sentiment. 2107, 2108. Yeah, nothing crazy on these. Those are sentiment metrics. Nothing crazy. The TAN, the big sell-off. This is solar, big sell-off, and even they went up this past week. That's how bullish this past week was, the Thanksgiving week. When the dogs go up, you know that the week was bullish, and everybody's making money. And you probably saw people posting their gains, which is kind of funny because you really don't know the context of how much did they bet, the portfolio. Is it bullshit? Is it a Photoshop? I mean, you don't know. But it's brag reels because it's people who are insecure. And, you're using the brokerage account to, for validation purposes. And that's not what brokerage accounts are really used for. TLTs found a bottom of sorts. Look at that. Boom. On the holiday week. But volume was low, so we'll see if this sticks. But maybe if the Department of Government Efficiency really starts going to work, maybe they're going to save us taxpayers a fortune. cut two to $3 trillion out of the federal budget. That's okay by me. The VIX, volatility. Look at that. Volatility has basically crashed. Let's look at this on log scale. Scaling. Log. See, look at that. Volatility has totally crashed. The fear which came in all these past weeks leading into the election has totally subsided. Or is subsiding more. Amazing. Time. Sing it, Hootie. By the way, I've been to a Hootie and the Blowfish concert. I've been to a couple of them. They're all great. If you haven't been to one, I highly recommend. REITs. Look at that. That's there, a box within a giant box. So, REITs. If you can't find anything good to buy or things that are extended, yeah. Buy some REITs for income. Housing, another housing, sideways, no big deal. What do we got here? Oh, oil and gas, XLE. 2 yellow bar bullish signals. Box breakout here, moved up, but then had a down week, but nothing crazy. Situation normal. Financials going higher. Look how financials have gone higher since all the way back in 2023. That was when they were starting to talk about cutting rates. I can't remember, to be honest, but overall financials have been doing fantastic. Look at that trend line. Utilities, the Ute. What is a Ute? Box breakout right here, but volume's low. Okay. But that doesn't mean it won't work, but it would be preferable to have this type of breakout. But we'll see. But you see, everything's bullish. Everything's positive. So let's get into now list 2, box breakout leaders. These are the ones that have the textbook breakout, and are just ripping. And look at AAOI. This one is just fabulous. I bought it here and I stupidly sold it here. I thought I was being smart. And then it formed the signal. But, we had the election and then it just ripped. And I think it had earnings in there also. And now look at it. Whoosh. Amazing. This week, if you pick the right names, you could have just made a fortune the last few weeks. And I kind of kick myself because I'm involved in litigation and I deal with lawyers a lot. My lawyer at Cummings and Lockwood charges me $530 an hour. And let me tell you, it absorbs a lot of time. And I found myself missing a lot of names, but if you've managed to grab these names, well, you just can't help but make money. And the key is to figure out how to buy right and sit tight. Let the trend. If I had sat tight here, instead of having a sell at 18, I'd be owning it at 41 from 13. I'd be sitting on a triple with no work. That's the way you got to do it. And I didn't have to buy any options or anything like that either. Affirm, look at that. Box breakout. This thing's moving higher. I think this company has a terrible business model, but, everything's bullish. And look at all the green volume. So even though my opinion is, not that excited about it, the market is saying that they like it. Look at all the green bars. There's a lot of them. This one keeps going higher. Volume. Notice here. Notice how you have the huge bar here and the little bar here with this volume. Yeah, there was selling, but somebody had to be buying all those shares being sold, huh? Going higher. This one, box breakout. Higher, looks great. Another one. There's a ton of box breakouts. Look at all these ones on the left side. There's just tons. I mean, if you haven't made money, You just got to look at what you're doing and stop and change. Boom. The bros. Boom. Yellow bar up. Which one is this? The cores. Keeps moving higher. This one higher up. Even CVNA. CVNA had the box breakout here. I thought I saw a little nuance here on up in here that might be a little bearish, so I took a flyer, and the next day, literally, I got stopped out. All right. It's okay to take probes and try stuff, but you beat a hasty retreat. It's a bull market. And that there is a hammer bar. So stock is probably going higher. But yeah, it's okay to try different trades. Just beat a quick, get out fast. Be a scared turtle. Get out fast as soon as something starts to go wrong. Deckers, box breakout up. Box breakout up. I mean, you get the picture. Look at this one. Another one I regret. Bought it in here, sold it here, do the election, boom, and then I just let it run. Doubled right in my face. More than doubled. It's a tough game. It's a very tough game. It's also a lesson in if you bought something and it's working, do everything you can to stay in it. Are there any real contrary signals here? No. There's not a single contrary signal. This was me just thinking I was smart by, hedging, not being exposed in the election. Screw that. Should have held. There's no signals. There's no danger signals here that I can see. So stay long until you see a danger signal. It's easy to say, it's hard to do. But if you can do it, you'll make so much more money. What do we got here? Yep, another one. JP Morgan up. MicroStrategy up. No danger signals here. Yeah, it got a little hot up here at 540, but it's still doing great. Now this next week, we'll see. But it's still doing okay. Box breakout. This one, box breakout. Oh, this one's not. Look at this. This is a failure. Box breakout. Failure for some reason. This comes off the list. This doesn't belong here. Let's put it into watching. Oracle looks fine. Box breakout. This one, PLTR. Now, I don't know what expectations people have if you're putting it in at 67 at $150 billion valuation, but that's optimistic. That's a bullish hammer. And look at that, it triggered. So any warning signals there? Nope, nothing. Let it ride until something shows up. The Poet, box breakout. I'm long this, and I sat on this and watched it do nothing. But here we are. It finally vindicated. Boy, it took forever. It's not a very big position either, so easy to sit on it. Roblox, up, down, and it's about to form a new Darvas box, which will look, actually, it'll be somewhere like there. But it needs one more week. Because see how that low scraped a little lower than the prior? I usually wait until the low is fixed, or at least a bit more fixed, but it'll stay on the list. This one, box breakout moving up. It's got earnings coming up, so hopefully it keeps going. We'll see. But I'm long that one. Reddit. What do we got here? Inside week. Here's your stop. Here's your stop loss. If you're long Reddit, there's your potential stop out right there. This one, another one I sold too early. Keeps going higher. So annoying. I own this one. Box breakout, moving higher. Bought it in here. Sold it here like a jackass. Bought it back in. If you make a mistake, try and rectify it immediately. Easy to say, harder to do. Shopify moving up. There's that inside bar telling you it's going higher. Snow, box breakout, higher. Look at these trends. I mean, you get the picture. Everything in this list just looks fantastic. Tesla. If there's one bone I have with Tesla, it's the last big bar was a sell bar. But you know what? Seems to be doing okay here. So, the bull market. URI. Trend. Oh, no. It has formed a Darvas box, 3-week Darvas box. And even though it only has one low, I like 2 weeks after, but I've got pretty high confidence this low here is going to hold. So draw the box, but because it's in a box, I remove it because it's no longer in an uptrend. It needs to prove it again. Again, up, looks fine. Walmart keeps going up. Oh, look at that. Remember how blue bars tend to have red sell bars, but not always. It's a bull market, right? The wolf. Somebody told me that I was an idiot on this one and that I was late, bro. Well, I bought it in here. That doesn't look all that late. I'd feel a little stupider if I had bought it at 9, but one thing I do see, this is formed an up sideways box. Do I have confidence that this low will hold here? Probably. So I'm willing to draw it, but by drawing it, it comes off this list. So you got to have a consistent process. And I like to think I've got a consistent process. All right, let's go to list 3, bullish signals. Look how big this list is. It's just a bull market. Apple, box breakout, even though volume is low, doesn't qualify for the other list. This one, oh yeah, this is bullish. I'm going to talk about this in a sec. We'll skip that. Look at this, uptrend. It's bullish. Now, I don't see a whole lot of signals, but there's that blue with the red pullback. But we'll see what happens. This has, nice up, just straight up. Amazon, box breakout. It had the textbook breakout here. Couldn't hold it, pulled back. But now it's gone up again. So it's on this different list. This one, it was easy to see right here on the volume sequence on this one. Down, we're selling. And then the bulls, no. We want to buy. And then they really did buy the hell out of it, didn't they? But that's how easy it was to see that one. This one, higher. Everything's so bullish. Berkshire, up. Caterpillar, breakout. Chewy's up. Oh, a little bit of a pullback. Costco, moving up. Dash, look at that. Look at that trend. Okay. This one, DJT, our president. Remember what I said is tight, quote, tight equals tight? 2 inside weeks in a row. There it is right there. So, I set an alert last week on that one. Now I'm going to set another alert on that one. And that's what I do. I set alert ladders, so to speak, so I know what's going on. And if it does start to go, I might be buying this one. The last bar here is bullish, meaning the bulls have soaked up the bears' selling shares. Now, it may need a reason to go higher, but because I'm seeing this, we're prepared. So set an alert. You don't have to buy it, but at least, keep an eye on it. That's my point. ESTC, yellow bar buy signal. And here's what gets me about this one. It dropped down here and they sold the crap out of it, only to what? Buy it all back now? I don't know. But that's bullish. This one moved higher, but there's your first inside bar. Inside bars are what? 50-50? There you go. There's a bottom one. Let's set an alert there. And the top one will set an alert there. There, we've seen the alert, the signal. We're now prepared. Do we want to trade it or not? That's the only question. Box breakout, there's the bearish signal, but overcome by the bull bar. And now it's had a soft box breakout. GM, still in the uptrend. Uptrend, what is that, hood? ML, I'm long this one. If I'm called a dumbass on another stock, what's it called when I've had a double on this one? Maybe I'm not so dumb. Or maybe I am. I don't know. Bearish signal here, but it did not trigger. And instead, it formed the inside. And there, bullish trigger. So, yeah, there's the lesson. Stay long until you get a valid contrary signal. That was a maybe signal. Oop, not sure. Nope, didn't go off, and now going up. So that's how you got to be careful of that. Netflix up, now up. This one, OKLO, OKLO. Man, volatile in here. How does anybody manage this? 25 to 17. Now, granted, if you owned it at like 10, you're fine. But, oof, brutal volatility in here. Is it forming a box? No, because the box starts in here. It's not ready yet. But an inside bar, well, if you're interested in buying it, you missed it, set an alert for the top of the bar. There you go. This one, oh, you know what I see here? A very narrow Darvas box, 3 weeks. And again, because it's formed a new box, we put it to the watching list. Quantum, small guys. Look at that. Formed a box, box breakout, moving higher, and now the big rip. Rivian. So I noted this signal here. I bought a little bit in there, sold it because it didn't work. It started to sell down. It formed a inside week, a nice tight inside week there, and then it launched. I did not buy it again here at this low. I mean, it moves too fast for me. But I was able to buy some at 11, and then I sold it at 12. That was pretty much like a day trade, but looks doing pretty good here. Yellow bar buy signal. What I don't like is that it has 1 billion shares outstanding. I don't like big fat stocks like that. Root, the big yellow bar buy signal on big volume. Yeah, that's enough to get me to buy. And so far, so good. I know, right? Who else has this one? Anyone? Raise your hand. Anyone? Bueller? Upstart. Beautiful breakout. Moved higher. I was a skeptic on this, but I should have bought it. But now, look at this. Another box here. And what do we do with boxes? We move them to the other watching list. So you see, it moved trending up, then sideways, trending up, then sideways. That's how this stuff gets stacked. How are we doing on time? 4 o'clock. All right, we gotta get going here. VRT. There's the bullish start signal. We've got inside bar with potential watch out. Let's set an alert and we'll see what happens. Okay, final list. Bearish signals. There are some bearish areas of the market, and doesn't mean that they're doing awful. It just means they're not moving upwards like the bulls are. First one, AMD. I actually went short on this one because I do like to hedge my longs with a few other stock shorts. And it's my way of controlling the risk and handling the volatility. And if I get it right, then I sit and make money while everybody else is losing money, and that's a good feeling. But in this case, we had a little bit of a trigger on the low here, but we've got a downward trend. But I'm barely got a profit on this one. So we'll see if it sticks. Maybe it's just no good. But notice here in the analysis, red, 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 red. Where's the bulls? I thought AMD was the greatest tech company that ever lived. No? Look at this. Green, 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 green. Now we're at red, 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 red. Where'd they go? So that's why this has decent probability. ARM. I do not have any position in ARM at the moment, but it just shows the weakness. A bearish bar here, slight downtrend, and but no, nothing really crazy on the volume front, but keeping an eye on it. This one, bearish, pink bar. Look at that, the volume. ASPI, I don't even know what this one is. ASTS. The retail loves this one. Shooter bar, shooter bar, shooter bar. Inside bar. Scraped the bottom low of the inside. They're struggling to keep this up, but it hasn't collapsed either. So it's kind of interesting. But is this a bullish setup at the moment? No, it's not. It could turn on a dime and go bull, but it's not telling you to do that yet. So we'll see what happens. Sell H, yeah, it keeps moving down. I give this one more week and then it'll come off, but for the moment it's still on this bearish list. Coinbase. We got inside, then bullish, inside, then bearish, then bullish, then sort of mixed, and then a bearish shooter, and now an inside. Is this super bullish to you? From a signals basis, this doesn't look very good. Even the volume, the last big volume was a red one. I don't know about this one. We'll see. Crocs down, down. It needs one more week. If it goes up again, it'll come off the list. Dell Computer, pink bar signal. This means pay attention. There may be an issue. GME, that is a bearish shooter bar, but we'll see what happens. Google, white bar sell signal. Inside, but we'll see if it pushes the lows of these inside bars right here. But you see how some of these just don't look very good compared to all the other bullish ones. LMT, pink bar. There's a hammer, but you see red, 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 red. So we'll see if this one triggers or not. Technically, that's a bullish pattern, but I don't know. Micron, just another indication of that semiconductors are weak. You know, AMD's a little weak. Dell is a little weak. The SMH, see how SMH had weakness here and didn't really do anything. You see how this all flows together? Now Micron. Now there's no signals on Micron, but just look at this downward tilt. Where's the bullish stuff on Micron? Sort of going sideways down. Then we get to the king, NVIDIA. Well, I am short NVIDIA, and I shorted it up here. And why? Because that's a bearish shooter bar right here. And look, it did trigger, but it didn't close there, so it's not super weak or anything like that. It's just like Micron. It's got a downward tilt at the moment. I managed to hit it at a right spot, so I got some cushion to evaluate, make decisions. You know where I'll get out? The top of that bar right there. If that hits, I'm out. And I hope it doesn't hit. But it might, because it's generally a bull market. So, but you see how throw on a few contrary hedges, PI, that one, there's that one. I bought and sold this one, and it's getting close to making a Darvis box. Yeah, I guess we could call it that. Like that. This is a fairly big one. And we'll move this to list 6. Qualcomm. Again, semiconductors. I'm short Qualcomm. Shorted it a couple weeks ago. Had the potential box breakdown. Now an inside bar, but who knows, it might go down again. If it does, then being short this one will be the correct move. See, we got shooter, shooter, shooter. So there's not a lot bullish on this one at the moment. Ferrari. Box breakdown. Look at this. Red, red. See, gotta notice this stuff. The Stinger. Woof. Look at that. There's that inside bar. You had a box breakdown here. It came back up and then formed a signal. There's your signal to get out. If you owned it at the time, get out. Look how it's collapsed. 70 down to 50. Brutal. TMDX. If this goes up another week, then I'll remove this off the list. But, brutal. Meanwhile, most FinTwit people said that they got in like right here or something like that. How smart is the people you're following? Are they smarter than me? I don't know. They probably just don't interpret charts as good as I do. I don't know. Zeta, huge sell-off and tight, getting tight. 2 inside bars in a row. Market's going to figure out what to do with this one. And lastly, Zim. Ugh. I tried it from here to here. What a failure. And look at that bar there, and all it did was go down. So there's nothing bullish in there. So you can see the list here is not so big compared to the bullish list, but there are a few. So we'll see if they develop or if they get bullish also. The last one I wanted to show you was, which one was it? AGFY. Okay, this bad boy. Look at this. Oh my goodness. It's gone from $5 to, well, it hit 80 at one point. Jeez, in 3 weeks. Crazy. What I wanted to show you, have you ever heard of the term goalpost volume? If you ever see this setup, throw on a flyer. Basically, the rules are you get 2 of these. They have to be roughly the same. Like you can't have them lopsided, like one all the way up here and then this one down here. No, they got to be roughly the same. And if you see that, then the odds are that whatever happens after this big bar is going to be a wild and crazy ride. So that's an example of goalpost volume. If you ever see this, buy some. Let's put it that way. Whoop, there we go. But again, they got to be roughly equal. You know who had an example of this? DJT. Watch, let me show you. Let's back up. Oh, goal. Come, there you go. See, roughly equal bars. And then look what happened after. Boom, 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 boom. But again, it means you're in for a wild ride. It's not a guarantee, but anyways, I wanted to show you the goalpost volume. And if you see that, let me know. Okay, so hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys have a great trading week. Have a good one. Bye bye.